If your lower back constantly feels tight and painful and you have tried stretching and exercising, but you haven't released this crucial myofascial chain, then you need to watch this video. I will briefly explain to you the key details about myofascia and how it affects the health of your lower back, and most importantly, how you can release pain and stiffness and get your lower back region feeling nice and relaxed and tension-free. The best thing about these techniques is that they are easy to do and you can do them basically anywhere. They are a quick and effective way to increase pain-free mobility in the lower back, in the hips, and especially if side bending and twisting are the issue, they work like a charm. And it even helps if your lower back is just tensed up and aching. Fascia is a type of connective tissue that is found all around our bodies. It covers our muscles, our nerves, our internal organs, and yes, even our massive human brains are covered with this stuff. But why do we need all this packaging material? Fascia supports other tissues. For example, it protects our nerves. It also helps muscles and joints carry loads, and it's also a sensory network. The type of fascia that's mostly causing you movement restrictions and pain is called myofascia, so the one that surrounds the muscles, and it's also the target of the techniques we will teach you. So fascia surrounds muscles and is between them. In the ideal situation, the different layers of fascia are able to glide freely when we move, but sometimes this gliding becomes restricted. And that's the problem. Because myofascia is also a full body network, so it forms chains and continuations. Problems in one area can affect even faraway places. And now let me demonstrate this to you using my shirt and my trousers. You can imagine that this shirt and the trousers are the full body suit of fascia, and now when I'm moving my back, my arms, the shirt is able to glide freely and smoothly. And this, of course, is the ideal case and allows free movement. Now, if the fascia becomes restricted for some reason, for example, it gets stuck here in the hip region, hip area, now it starts to restrict my lower back movements, and even lifting my shoulders can become harder. People with low back and pelvis issues often have myofascial movement restrictions in their so-called lateral myofascial chain. So now we have decorated our Christmas skeleton with the resistance bands so that you can see the myofascial chain. So it begins in the head, goes from the neck down, all the way down to the sides and to the lateral side of the hip and thigh and all the way down to the feet. So the key message here is to not just concentrate on the symptomatic area, for example, the low back. It's really important to also open up restrictions elsewhere on the chain. And these three are often the most relevant. Don't do these techniques if you have wounds or fractures in the area, if you have freshly herniated disc, or if you have any other serious spine injuries, or any other medical reasons why you can't have deep tissue massages. The first place that we are going to release is located in the infamous area of QL or Quadratus Lumborum, located here. So there's the QL muscle. There's also the thoracolumbar fascia that can be affected by the tension of this lateral part of your sides. There is also the latissimus dorsi muscle here, which often has very much of these myofascial tension points here. And you can locate this target area by finding the bony parts of your pelvis right here on the outside and the lowest parts of your ribs. So we will be releasing the tension in between these two places. And we will show you two different versions of the same area and use whichever suits you the best that you can do. You can try out both of them. The first version of this exercise is done on the floor, side lying, but lean back a little bit from the side lying so that you can reach the desired place. Don't worry if you can't get to the floor. We will show you a version that's done while standing up, so stay tuned. And place the foam roller onto the place that we showed you before. Then lift your pelvis up from the floor a little bit so you can get pressure to the foam roller, and then start to roll around up and down with these small movements like this. Do this for 2 to 3 minutes to get the place released. Remember not to go too far up with the foam roller, so don't go over your ribs in this release technique. You can also use your other hand to get the roll rolling, so aid with the other hand, like this. You can also do side-to-side movements by leaning forwards and backwards or rocking around on the foam roller like this. It's also a valid strategy to use here. And of course, do this same technique to the other side as well. In the version that's done while standing up, you can use a big ball or a tennis ball. The big ball is better because you have more space to work with when your hand is on the ball, but use what you have. So the exercise is done while standing up against the wall, and place the ball on the wall and then lean against it, place it to the place where I showed you before, and then start doing side-to-side movements against the ball, and also you can do up and down movements. As an added technique tip, you can also use the so-called active release technique, which is done using movements. So you place some pressure against the ball and then keep the pressure and side bend away from the ball. So do movements from your spine, side bend away from the ball, and you can go as far as you can or want to go. In other words, you don't have to go all the way as far as you can. You can do smaller movements as well. And again, do this for 2 to 3 minutes in one spot and repeat for both sides. The next area we will release is located in the medial glutes right here. So you have the bones of the pelvis right here, and then your hip joint right here, and the area is located in between those 2 points. And restrictions in this place of course affect the health of your hip joint and also affects your pelvis and your low back. So really important to get this released. And also be mindful that you don't go too near the bony parts of the hip. There's bursa here, which can often become sore when you massage it too roughly. So don't go near that. Stay on the soft tissues of the glutes. For this release technique, we will show you one technique that's done standing up. Again, you can use a bigger ball like this or a tennis ball. Whatever you have, use that. And once again, we are against the wall, and we will place the preferred ball to the area that we showed you before. Lean against the ball while it's against the wall. Very poetic, I know. And then start to do small massaging motions against the ball, like this. Again, you can do side-to-side movements. You can also do small up and down movements like this. But remember not to go all the way down to the hip where there was the infamous bursa. Also remember to use different angles when attacking this area so that the ball is more behind or more forward. So leaning forward hits the anterior lateral angle. In this case, put your legs like this. So the opposite side leg is forward. And then when you are leaning more backwards, the legs are in reverse positions. So the opposite side is back. Do this release for 2 to 3 minutes in one spot and then move the ball to the next one, so you have at least 2 or maybe 3 different angles that you can release this area from. And of course, do this for both sides. Also, in the end of the video, we will tell you more on how often you should do these release techniques and also how you should use these in relation to your other workouts and exercises. So important stuff coming in the end of the video. The last area that we will teach you how to release is on the lateral outside part of your thigh. Often very sore when you open this area. Be mindful. And this, of course, affects the health of your hip. prop malfunction. And this, of course, affects the health of your hip joint, your thigh area, and also might cause some issues with the knee. It also affects the spine, the low back, via the myofascial chain link. And for the last technique, we will also show you two different variations. One is done on the floor with the foam roller, and the other one is once again done while standing up using a ball. But first, the floor technique. So go on the floor on your side and lean on your other elbow and bring your top leg on front of the foam roller and your other knee like this. Also, if you have issues with your elbow, you can put something soft like a pillow under it. And then you start to roll around, and now when the top leg is in front of your other knee, you can tackle the more anterior lateral parts of the thigh. That's good. We will do this first. You roll around, and when you find a tight, painful, somewhat painful spot, you stay there and start to do this smaller rolling motion against the foam roller, like this. Do this for 2 to 3 minutes in one spot, and when that's done, you move on to the next one, repeat it there, and you can maybe do 2 to 3 tight spots like this. Then you switch positions, so you bring the top leg behind your other knee, like this. Now you can tackle the posterolateral parts of the thigh. Both are important, super important to open up, and repeat this technique there. So you find a tight spot, do this small massaging motion against the roller there, 2 to 3 minutes in one tight spot, and then move on to the next one. And of course, do this for both sides. Remember not to go all the way up to the bony parts of the hip. No. And also don't go all the way down to the knee joint, so there is also bony parts there, so not buen. And once again with the stand up.
All right, settle down everyone, I'm just getting warmed up.
Standing up version. It's quite similar with the other techniques we've learned so far, so you use the ball, big ball or small tennis ball, place it on the lateral parts of the thigh, and come lean against the wall, put some pressure against the ball. So remember to place the ball first on the anterior lateral parts of the thigh, like this, all the way down near the knee joint, but not on top of the knee joint. And do this forwards and backwards movement using your hips. And as you can see, the leg of the affected, treated side, released side is more forwards than the other one, like this. And then release all the spots that you can find. Here, as an added tip, remember to place your feet so that your feet, your toes, point diagonally towards the wall. And for the posterior lateral parts, of course, you will twist your feet away from the wall and once again do all the spots that you can find in this area as well. 2 to 3 minutes per tight spot. Remember that this is only the lateral myofascial chain, and we also have other chains in addition to this that can also have these sticky myofascial restrictions. So it's also important to release these chains as well if they have any problems. Luckily, we have now created a free downloadable PDF manual on how to open up your anterior and posterior myofascial chains from head to feet. Go grab it and add those techniques to your repertoire. The link is here and down in the description and pinned on the comment section. Now, before you go and leave this video, one more really important thing to remember. Don't use these release techniques on consecutive days, so keep a rest day or 2 in between release sessions. Also, don't do the release techniques before any sports or other workouts, but you can do them afterwards. Or you can do the release techniques on your rest days. In the beginning, to get the best results, use these techniques 2 to 3 times during the week, but later, when the tension has passed, you can use them as a maintenance tool and use them once in a while. And with that, we are done with this video. So claim the free PDF manual for yourself, use that as well, and also check out our other videos for fun times. Bye bye.